So the main buyers that you kind of encountered as a marketing agency when you were looking to have Lincoln Learn acquired, three main ones were larger marketing agencies looking to roll up Lincoln Learn into their existing agency and just kind of improve on the processes that you have in place. Someone, maybe an individual who wants to own a marketing agency, whether they come from an existing career in marketing, or maybe they're just an investor that's really looking to own a marketing agency. They don't really want to start from scratch, so they might buy smaller agencies to have existing systems and clients to work off of. And then the third one was a peer investor. So somebody who probably owns other assets and companies, kind of views buying companies with a potential investment or with the potential to grow, and then probably has that goal of selling the company in about 5 years.
Yeah. And I would say, so the other aspect of like the types of buyers, I guess, I don't know if this isn't maybe this is going to be a different question, or maybe it's just digging into this, is I had never considered this, which sounds silly now because it seems so obvious, but I had never considered what the buyer brings to the table in addition to just what they're willing to pay. And I guess that only matters if I'm going to stay with a company, because I guess I don't really care what they bring to the table if I'm out. But I guess I hadn't really considered that I would sell the agency but then still be working here, or still be involved in agency. I really just thought you sell the company, you move on, you find something else. Like, I guess that is what I thought of in that scenario. But so I was pleasantly surprised by the opportunity to sell the majority and to continue to stay on, get paid, to continue to build, and work with the team that I know and love. So that was really nice. So then the next thing in that scenario, which I didn't know was a thing, was it then matters who that main investor is. Because if they now have majority ownership and control, then all these other things come into play. Like, are they a micromanager? Do they have, does their vision of what we want to build align with mine, or is it different? Like, because it doesn't become a job necessarily, it is a partnership. And if you bring a partner into this business, and especially if that partner is the majority owner now, it changes the dynamic completely from when you were the sole founder and you didn't have to care what anyone else thought. I mean, not that you don't care, but you have the final say, and you don't necessarily like have to back down ever. So there was the alignment and there was the partnership, like that takes a huge consideration if I'm going to stay on. And then the other part is that I didn't consider is, do they bring something additional to the table? So in addition to just writing a big check, is there something else that they can offer that makes this partnership attractive? And that's not something I considered. In this case, the investor who bought in, he brought immense resources, experience, and a network to the table that I had not even considered was a possibility. So in addition to buying the majority ownership from me, he then invested additional money into the company immediately, both into Impactable directly, and then on the side, he spent his own money on a research and development team to develop products and a SaaS tool for us that would be then owned by Impactable. So he spent his additional money to help us grow faster. So he wasn't just like, okay, I invested in you because I think you're going to go, but now it's, it's up to you to actually do that, make my money, like make more money. He took his actual money and invested in our growth as well. So that was huge. The second thing he brought was his experience. So he had founded a 13,000 person organization before. He was one of the founders of SoftServe. And then he had founded half a dozen other companies after that, or been involved in early startups. So his experience then, it wasn't just some disconnected investor who just gave us a check. He brought experience, and he's built companies from zero and marketing agencies. One of his companies that he founded early on was a marketing agency. So he's been where we want to go personally before. So now I've bolted myself onto one of the best advisors, growth advisors and startup advisors I could hope to find. So I'm connected now to one of the wealthiest investors I could have hoped to find, one of the best startup advisors I could hope to find. And then the third one was his network. So because he's founded all these other data companies, because he has connections to some of the biggest companies that we could hope to ever be in a room with, he has the ability to connect us and make connections and introductions that can help introduce us to enterprise clients that maybe we wouldn't have gotten access to before. So what the buyer, in addition to the money, brings to the table was not something I had even crossed my mind before.
Yeah, that's really awesome too that he was able to bring all of that to the table for us. I am kind of curious about your relationship now with him. I know you guys had that you, John, and Josh went to go visit him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's that relationship like?
So I think one of the things, and I couldn't have known this before, and so I essentially got lucky in this sense. He's not a micromanager at all. I knew that he didn't want his hands in the business. He wasn't a day-to-day operator. He's like a long-term visionary. So I was hoping, and I got the sense that he would just let me do my thing. That has been completely the case. He doesn't micromanage a single thing in the day-to-day. Who we hire, what we pay, what tech we use, what we offer, what we price it. He doesn't care. He has his mindset on 5 years. And if him and I agree on what we're building in 5 years, he doesn't care